Hello my lovely friends, welcome to today's video. My name is Waneka. I want to say a very big thank you for supporting me on this channel. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. God bless you. I love you so much. And if you are new on this my channel, please do me well also to subscribe on this my channel. Please support me. God bless you as you do so. On today's video, I will be showing you on how to cut some overlap blouse, and I'll be taking it step by step in a way that we understand it. So let's get started. First of all, I will cut the front part after I cut the back part. Now I fold my dress into two. So what I do, I start to measure 4.5 from this folding part here. I measure 4.5. This 4.5 stand as my overlap blouse. So this is 4.5 here. So I measure it and make straight line. I'll first of all remove this 4.5 that serves as my overlap blouse. Alright, so the next thing to do is to connect it together. Connect it and make a straight line. I hope you are seeing it. Make straight line. Please help support me to subscribe on this my channel. Support me, please. I beg you. Now after I've take my 4.5 for my overlap, I will now start to place my measurements. I'm not going to start placing my measurement from this side because this side serves as the overlap blouse. I will start the measurement from this line here. I hope you see it from this line here. That is where I will start. So the next thing to do is to measure my shoulder. The shoulder I will be using today is 14 inches. Alright. Now 14 inches, I divide it into two. This is the 14 inches here. Alright. I divide this 14 inches into two to get my shoulder measurement. So what I got there is 7 inches. So this 7 inches is what I'll use for my shoulder measurement. Now this is it. I hope you see it here. From here to here, let me show it very well. From here to here, I measure 7 inches for my shoulder measurement. If you have been following my video, I said whatever I use for my shoulder, that is what I will use for my armhole. You don't need to start to measure your armhole again. Use your shoulder measurement for your armhole. Now my armhole is 7 inches. That is what I will take for my armhole. It's the same 7 inches. Alright. So after that, I take my ruler to make the straight line. Connect the straight line together. Now after that, I will now make this straight line for the chest line. I call this thing chest line. This line here. Alright. So this is the chest line there. So the next thing to take now, I will measure my underbust. Whether you are making padded or you are making just blouse without padded, you must place this underbust. That is what that will bring the fitting of your dress very well. Now the underbust I'm using today is 14 inches, and half inches is the dress. Now this dress, it will have you can attach gather on this down part, or flare on this down part, or straight skirt on the down part here. Alright, so what I use for my half length is 18 inches. I add 1 inches for the sewing allowance. Like I said, if you are making straight gown without the one that does not have cut in there, please, the half length you take is 20 inches. I said it in all my video. But if you are making dress that has a cut, that is something that are going to attach flare on it, what you use is 18 inches. You minus 2 inches from your 20, you use 18 inches. Alright. Now after that, I will use my ruler to make the straight line. I hope you get it. Now I do the straight line like this. I made the straight line. Alright. This is a straight line here. Now this one is my chest line. This is my underbust. This is my waistline. Now after that, the next thing to do is to curve my armhole. Now before covering my armhole, I will now take my measurements. Don't take your measurements from this side here. This side here serves as my overlap. If you want to take your measurements, start taking measurements from this line. I said it again. Take your measurement from this line here. Now I place my tape. My round bust is 36. All right, 36 divided by 4 is 9 inches. Is 9 inches. This is a 9 inches here. And now you add enough allowance because this is paper. If you are cutting it on the fabric, you add like up to 2 inches for the sewing allowance. So the next thing to do is to come straight to my underbust. My underbust is 32. 32 divided by 4 is 8 inches. So this is my 8 inches now. I will add my dart allowance because I'll be holding that on it. I'll be placing that on this dress. All right. I will add 1 inches for my dart and my sewing allowance. Please always add enough allowance. After sewing your dress, you cannot trim it up. It is because I'm using paper. If not, I will add up to 3 inches. It's better you have enough allowance. After you sew your dress finish, you can trim off the excess and you don't have any and then you have short of material. At the end, you start looking for how to join it. No, always add enough allowance on your work. After finishing your dress, you can trim off the excess. Now for my waistline here, my waist is 34. I divide it into E4 is 8.5. All right, 8.5. I will add my dart allowance and sew. So after that, I will connect everything together from my bust to meet with my under bust and with my waistline. I hope you get it. So the next thing to do now is to curve my armhole. I use my ruler to curve my armhole, my French curve. In case if you don't have French curve, see what you do. From this armhole here, you divide it into 2. This armhole, as is 7 inches, you divide it into is 3.5. So you connect it to meet with this. Because I have French curve, I don't need to do that. The next, what I will do is to place it like this from this and curve it. Please try and get French curve. French curve makes your work easy. All right, it makes your work very easy. See how it curves this very well. All right, so that is the help of this French curve. It helps your work very well. So the next thing to do now is to measure my neckline. The neckline I'll be using for this overlap blouse is 3 inches. I hope you are getting this, 3 inches. So this is my 3 inches here. All right, so from these 3 inches, I will use my ruler to make straight line to this place. I hope you are seeing it. So I use my long ruler. I'll place it, make sure that I touch these 3 inches. Remember I said from this line here, I measure the width of the neck I'm using, 3 inches. So from that 3 inches, I place this ruler on top like this to make it up to this side. I hope you see it up to this side. This point here, this damp part here. I will make straight line as a kind of V line, V. So you can make it, you can give it little curve, but I want this V neck to be there. So this is very easy to cut this overlap blouse. Very, very easy. This is the easier way of cutting this overlap. You see how I made straight line from this point here. From this point, I made straight line to meet with the neck I'm using. Let me show you very well with this thing. With this this 3 inches, I connect it to. All right. So the next thing to do now is to cut it out. Like I said, you can just make a little curve on it. All right, you can just make little curve, on it. You can just make little curve on it, but I want it straight like this. So I will be cutting it now. Let me say this one again, in case if you want to add that on it. This is how you will do that. From this place, from this line here, from this waist side, I said my waist is 8.5. For you to add that from this place, that 8.5, I will divide it into 2. So when I divide it into 2, I got 4 1/4. This is the 1/4 here, 4 1/4 here, 4 1/4 plus the sewing allowance. I will add. I'm adding 1/2 inches for it. That makes it 5 inches. All right. So these 5 inches I use for the dart. So this is the dart I'll be using. In case if you're adding yours dart. So from here, divide your waist into 2. After dividing it, you add 1/2 inches for the sewing allowance. So the same thing for the back. That is how you do the back this also. So the next thing to do now is to cut it out. So this is how I will cut it out. I will first of all cut this side first. I promise to teach you step by step so that everyone will understand it. All right. So after cutting this side, I cut the armhole. Please, I will advise you to get French cut for your work. Please, it's very, very good. It makes your work to come out very well. All right. So let me cut out this line I drew. This line is not there. I start taking my measurement from this side, so it's not there. So I'm going to cut it out first before I cut my overlap. All right. So after I cut it out, so the next thing to cut now is to cut out my overlap dress. I hope you see that this overlap dress is very, very easy to cut. Very, very easy. The same thing if you are sewing it, that is very, very easy. So I will start to cut it now. Follow the from the tip there. I cut it. Remember it's V. I cut it. I didn't add any curve on it. All right. So be careful when you are cutting your work. In fact, after drafting your work, you go through it again before you cut it out to avoid the mistake. All right. That is how they taught us in when I was in fashion school. I say after you draft your work, you go through it again over like 2 times so that you won't make mistake. So the next thing to do is to notch this my dart and notch this my overlap. Now first of all, I will notch this overlap here. Please don't forget to notch overlap side. If you don't notch it, you will not know how to join your overlap. So I notch this side also. This is the dart, this is the overlap. So after that, I will now open it. Look at it. I'm done with it. Is to open it. I'll open it. All right. So it's very easy. So see it now. So I come down to this look at the way I notch the notching side of the overlap, and this side of notching part we join together with it. So this is how to cut this overlap dress. Very, very easy. See? So I will use pin to hold it so that I will make mistake. So I will use pin to hold this side. The same thing on this side also. Pin to hold it. So this, you see how the overlap, how it lasts very well. It will last very well on it. I hope you are seeing it. All right. So this one here, this notch here serves as my dart. This one here as my dart. This is my overlap. I hope you see how it laps very well. I hope you are seeing it. See it here. So please try, make sure that you notch this overlap side so that you won't make mistake. All right. So like I said, the next thing to do now is to cut the back part. Before cutting the back part, you will cut the bias of this side. You use bias to turn the front of this side. You can use bias to turn it you can use lining to turn it, whichever one. But before but I will use this I will use needle to sew it so that you see it very well. All right, so I will hold my darts. This is my darts here, and this is the dart of the second side here. So after that I cut the back parts. Like I said, you can attach it on gather or flay. It's very, very easy to cut it. Just give it a try. Let's cut the back parts. Right, so this is the back parts. The difference is that it's the same thing. The difference is this zip allowance. So the back will have zip allowance. So this is the zip allowance here. I use 1 inches for the zip allowance. Alright, this is 1 inches. So the bust is the same thing with the front. The underboard is the same line with the front. The waist is the same thing. The shoulder is the same thing. So the difference now is the zip and the neck depth. Now the wideness of the front neck is 3 inches. This is the 3 inches. The depthness of the back neck is 2 inches. So after that, I use my French cuff to curve it. Alright, so curve it to this zip allowance side. So the next thing to do now is to cut it out. And after that, for my dart, the back dart, remember I said the waist is 9 inches. Divide the 9 inches into 2. The main allowance is the main measurement is 9. I divide the 9 into 2. That gives me 4.5 plus that gives me 4.5 plus half inches. That makes it 5 inches. All right, 4.5 plus half, 5 inches for the dart. So the next thing to do is to cut it up. So I've cut it. So I'm cutting the neck part. So I've cut the neck part. So what I will do now is to notch this my back parts, to notch it. So this notching is very, very important. I always say it in all my video. You can notch this place also. You can notch that when you are joining your dress, it will be very easy for you to join. So the next thing now is to turn it. So this is it. So the next thing to do, just to hold the zip allowance side. After holding the zip allowance like this, sew it down. After that, it comes out like this. So after holding the back part for my zip, so the next thing is to put my dart. This is where the dart be. So for you to get perfect dart, I've made a video to avoid puff on this other side. All right, if you're making just blouse, not that you're adding anything on the down part, you want to put the dart. The dart length will end on this at this armhole side, where the armhole will end. The length will end. All right. So to avoid that puff, I said from this neck part here, to avoid that puff from this neck part, you measure 1.5. Look at what I'm doing. Just measure 1.5. Measure 1.5 or 2 inches, just to relax it very well. I'm taking 1.5. So after that, I just use my this thing to connect it together. So connect it together so that when you are making your dart, it will balance the back very well. So if you want to sew your dart at the back, this is what you do. After you have notched it, so see how I fold it. I follow the line like this. From the 1 inches, 1.5, I fold it. Make sure that I follow it to the dart. So if you want to sew it now, I'll come to this down part and measure 1/2 inches. I measure 1/2 inches from this down part here. All right. This is a 1/2 inches. Make sure to identify your underbust. Very important. This is my underbust. If this underbust will help this also to relax. All right. So I measure half inches also here. Where the length of my dart will stop for the back dart, remember I said from the from my hand hole. So after that I use my ruler to connect it. Make sure I connect to this my waist, from my waist to my underbust. When you are sewing your dart, and take it like this. So I'm going to take it, make straight line now to meet with this bust here. Alright, you see it? I connect to the underbust, from my waist to underbust. For the underbust, I connect it to where I want the length of my bust to stop, my dart to stop. That is my bust side. You see it? So with this now, if I sew my dart, it will balance on my back very well. Alright, I will sew it from this side because I'm making it just blouse like that. But in case if you are adding it with maybe you're adding with joining at the down parts, straight skirt at the down part, I made a video that you remove 1 inch here. But because I'm not making it to that, all you need to do, measure like this and take it to this side. With this particular one and the one I remove at the upper side here, it will relax your back part. It will avoid that part at the back part of your dress. That's another second method of this work. Alright, make sure you sew it from this side here. So from here, so meet with this one and slant it to the bust side. So this is how to put the dart back, back of this blouse. So the next thing to do now is to join my front part and bring it for you to see. So I will first of all sew this front part, the front dart. Look at the dart for the dart for the front part. So how to get this point as in breast point for this dart, where the dart will stop. Now from my underbust here, I said in my videos for everyone, I measure, I go up with 3 inches, right? 3 inches. So from these 3 inches, I will minus 1 inch from it. So instead of going that up with 3 inches, I remove 1 inch so that the point of this dress will last. So I will use my ruler to make straight line from this notch and notch here. I will make straight line there. I will make straight line like this. Alright, see it now. So if this is how to put the dart of this front part. So the same thing, I will do it the same thing at the other side. As I will sew it now, I'll fold it first like this. Follow my line, the line I rule. So this thing is very, very important. It gives your work perfect work. So this is where the line of the dart stops. So what I will do now is to measure the half inches I added. Remember, I added half inches for the sewing allowance. Don't sew more than that half inches unless you add more than half inches. If you add 3/4, it's 3/4 you will come out. If you add 1 inches, whatever inches you add, that is what you remove. So I added half inches. So this is the half inches I added. So I come to my underbust. Please, very important, take the half inches also. Take the half inch. That is what will bring your the fitting of your dress out. Now I'm going to use ruler now to connect it, just like the way I did at the back part. Please see what I'm going to be doing here. So I connect first. I make straight line from my waist to my underbust. See it now, from my waist to underbust. So after that, I make my ruler like this and make it straight like this. I hope you see it. This is how to put perfect dart front. I hope you see it. After sewing this dart, it will look as if you cut padded. Alright, it's how it is, because it's how you sew your dart. It will come out very well. Please, when you are sewing it, sew the half here straight to this underbust here. This is my underbust, and I slant it to meet it where my breast point stops. So I'll be sewing from here to here. The same thing I will do the same thing at this other part here. Alright, see the way I sewed it. I hope you see the thread. I make sure I follow the line. Come to this underbust. This underbust is one that will bring the bust fitting out. I follow the slant up to this side. Alright. See the fitting here. See the fitting of the underbust. Alright. This is the point. Alright, so I'll be doing the second one like that. See it? If you do not take it like that, the piecing will come out. It look as if I cut padded, but it's not padded, just that. It depends how you sew it. That is how it comes out very well. So I'll be doing the same thing at this other parts. Alright, so I've sewed the two darts, the front dart, the two front darts. So the next thing to do now is to look for where I notch for the wrap, for my overlap. So this is it. See why this notching is important. So this is the second one of the notching. I'll bring it together. I use pin to hold it. So after that, like this particular one is overlap that I cut. Look at it. So this one is lycra material that I use for it. At this side here, this corner side, you can attach little band there. At this two side, as in this side here, attach it at this side and this other side here. Alright, after that you make straight rope that you use to be tying it, you know. Alright, that is how to do that. It's very easy. Just give it a try. You see how easy it comes out. You see how it's lapped very well. And if you want it to even lap more than this, you can increase that 4.5. If you want this lap to reach up to this side, you can increase it to 5 inches or 6 inches, but this 4.5 is okay. That is what I normally use for all my dress, even this particular one. So it's okay. So just give it a try, and before leaving, my sisters, please just do me well. Support me on this channel. There is one red button down there. Hit on that red button. Support me. Subscribe for me. Use it to support me on this channel. God bless you as you do so. I love you so much. Give this work a try. You see how easy it comes out. God bless you. I wish you success. Thank you. Bye bye.